beat Chavo or anything, but like he has like a different like aura about him today. Like his advantage pushes are greater than I think I've ever seen.
He was saying earlier that he feels like he leveled up this week.
It definitely feels like it. For sure.
It looks like it too.
He does not normally chase like that in the skies.
Yeah.
He's usually pretty reserved, and he goes for a lot more like up attacks as his choice of like KO option plus gem. But I feel like he's learned something about how he could push an advantage that is going to level up his game. You could definitely see it.
Yeah.
But speaking of upsets and, you know, crazy things happening, well, last week we talked about how strong Piggy's performance was, very similar to the first time stream.
Daquan was just telling me 2-0 Retro.
Yeah. And
extreme upset.
He literally made Retro walk off the stage on Cromulons after he got like sauced on stock 2.
I know.
Like it was kind of ridiculous.
It is crazy.
But he's you know, I said it before. He loses game 1, and then he wins game 2. This is going to be a big opponent in his way, though, because Swirv, we've been waiting Swirv to come out for a while. He
finally got the ride he needed.
Yep. Shout out to Streamline as well for driving out Swirv and bringing out the mass players usually. He's been someone who, you know, everybody's like, hey, OD online, but how good is he? Well, I mean, here he is in the land.
Here he is. This is semis, right?
This is winter semis, yeah. Now, one rule I have is that you'll never be allowed to be #1 seed here or higher than anybody who's ever won a bracket here the first time you show up. But I'm also I'm very particular about how highly I seed people who play online a ton, but Swirv gets a pass because of how good his record is overall and winning a bunch of them online.
Oh, yeah.
So he's playing to it, too. He hasn't let up on that.
Yeah.
Actually, he hasn't dropped the game tonight.
Yeah, that's what I saw in chat, that he was on a perfect streak so far. Let's see if Piggy can break it with the TNJ.
Oh, interesting. I just realized I did not do predictions yet, and I said all that. But reminder that Retro is also somebody who has won these a couple times, and he ended up losing to Piggy. And Piggy's Tom and Jerry's been cooking, so think carefully about when you do this
He's very
prediction.
much been cooking.
You're only going to get 1 minute to do it, though. And also another thing. Piggy always loses game 1, and then he'll win the set. He is a late game adjuster, but also he got access
he's in the lead.
Yeah, he got access to Sky Arena game 1. His win record here is ridiculous as
and
he gets
takes
the first
stock with the dare.
Oh yeah, Chavo guarantee breaks the curse. But pointing out in the chat, up attack's gonna take it out. But the past 3 people, Chavo, Sage, and Retro, all got #1 seed, and they all ended up in 5th. Each one of them for the past 3 weeks.
Really?
Chavo guarantees that doesn't happen by getting into winners finals. So now that the curse is
finally
broken. That was a weird curse too. It's a very weird curse to have for multiple weeks in a row. Oh my god, his rocket play is so good. But
he really is.
One thing about Swirv that impresses me so much is his ability to mix up the way that he approaches. Like he doesn't always dare. He
doesn't always house. He doesn't always stretch. Like
his advantage is extremely good, and he got a hitbox extension off of using Jerry. That was really smart. He got a longer up attack out of that.
Oh, really? That's how that works?
Yeah, so you saw how it was stuck in longer animation as he hit Jerry?
Yeah.
The active hitbox is still available on the up attack as it comes around. So you think you could whiff punish that, but then you miss up your timing.
But then he got too close too fast because it was out longer than he thought. Yeah. That's crazy.
They're so good at a disadvantage. Even trying to go out there for that up attack.
That they're so good in general.
It is. It's 20 damage. The fact that it burns you at the end is hilarious, but that Sair fully charged sweet spot gives him back the lead.
Piggy with the momentum now. See how much extra damage he can get. Looks like he's not at kill percent quite yet.
I like the attempt at trying to do that wall volley like tennis racket to line him up for a dare, but he surprisingly didn't go very far off of that on the wall.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job at keeping him away from keeping Piggy away from Jerry when he launches him. Even if he doesn't kill the Jerry, as long as Tom doesn't have access to him, he's still in a pretty bad spot.
Yeah. Oh, look at Jerry, by the way, saving him there, because that setup was disgusting by Swirv catching him with that.
The Trinomite.
Like if that corkscrew wasn't there, just the cork in general, he would have probably died.
Yeah.
Well-timed Sair once again, though. His accuracy of Sairs is just...
It's something else.
It's just OD. There's one thing to just, like, aim and punch, you know, the Dawsons of the world, the Jakes of the world, whatever. But you have to be able to consistently land it against good defense, and he just never...
Swirv really does make it look like one of the easiest moves to use. But, I don't know, the first time trying Jake... Sair's a lot harder to hit than consistently than you might think it is at first.
Like you can definitely if you're laddering and stuff and you're going against a bunch of people along the way, yeah, you're gonna punch a lot of them in the face. But at the high end, especially with how much history we've had here, we've fought against Jake for a long time. It's actually kind of nuts. We fought against Serio, calm down. We've fought against Pin over a long time. We've fought against what you call it? Daquan when he used to play it, and a bunch of other people
used to
had
play
it too.
Jake?
Yeah, he was originally a Jake main, but
That's crazy.
we all figured out how to fight the matchup, so we got used to getting around that. So you have to get used to how to beat that. Unfortunately for you, that was so close.
That was really close.
His
to getting
resources
the
are
early
gone.
Stock.
He's done.
Oh, and it's still a very early stock.
Don't ever. Okay, so here's the thing. I get why Piggy picked this counter pick because he's been blowing people up here on this stage. But this is also Jake's best stage, and it's by a long shot because of what we just watched.
Yeah, the slightly lower blast zones, especially from on top of the speakers, getting confirms from up there is a lot easier, especially with Jake with the stretch and the up air. It's just crazy. Yeah,
now Piggy has a comeback to have to happen. Now, I said before, his game 2 win ratio is ridiculously high, but now with this stock lead, well, actually, maybe not so much. Like, he's put on 79 already. This is actually a very quick 79.
Yeah. Going up to 80 damage now. Piggy's playing a really good defense now since that first stop.
Gotta have to. Like,
yeah.
He's good stall. And the last second choice of going with the house, too. He hasn't gone for that as much at a disadvantage, so it kind of mixed him up. Like how the Dynamite got him out, and he immediately went right back in. It's like, yeah, I know there's not enough hits on to stop me from chasing you.
That up air, too, would have killed him, wouldn't it?
Might have. A very high likelihood. It is a very strong move, even with this high blast zone here on Cromulons.
Yeah, I don't really get it. I don't really see it used too much online, but I feel like that's mainly because of same reason Batman Sarah 2 doesn't get used online.
Yeah, so it used to be easier to connect on, but they changed the timings and such on it. So the only time you really can get it now is if you hit the very bottom of up special to pop you up right into up attack 1. But otherwise, it's a read or a chase. That's pretty much it. Good timing on that dodge to get away from that Sarah.
Oh, he might stage spike him. Oh, doesn't even need it. He doesn't even need it.
That move is absurdly strong and something you can't mash out of. So once you get caught in that spot, you're just done.
Yeah.
And Swirv has a huge lead. So even if he does drop one here,
there
Jerry's
goes
going to go.
Oh.
Really?
But so does Swirv.
Pretty surprised that Sarah ended up knocking out, but you take that.
Yeah. Well, that is the was the Jake weight nerf, was that online only, or was that online as well?
I don't know if that has been adjusted yet on offline, actually. Good thing to bring that up, because I think Jake actually is still at the previous weight today. As you see in some of the patch notes, there is some offline and online differences. Yeah, not offline yet, according to J Mafia. So that still surprised me again that Sarah ended up knocking out.
Yeah, that's even more surprising in that case.
Wow, Swirv with the dodge coverage in with the horse.
Gotta keep away from the Dynamite. They reflected it.
He's constant. Something I've noticed is that Swirv is getting away with swinging at a disadvantage almost every time. I think he's just realized like the gap windows that Tom and Jerry has to punish him are just not long enough. So he constantly challenges him with down air because he hasn't done anything to make him respect it yet.
Yeah, there's not really much that you can do to make a Jake respect you without like Jerry, especially when Jerry's dying like that.
Yeah, for that matter, sometimes you like if you're not quick enough to beat the anti-air on that, sometimes it's just better to get down and then do an attempt to try and punish the down air afterwards. But that's going to be an up attack coming through. Swirv continues this streak of dropping no games so far. Taking out Piggy, who was able to get a 2-1 upset over Retro a little while ago. Actually, why does it mark this 2?
Don't feel bad.
This one was 2. Oh, wait, no. That was game 3 because he did let him get that back. So these names are not correct. Unless I'm up here, nobody ever adjusts the commentators' names. I swear. Every time. Today, I don't know if you want to be that. I got slapped up. But
What do you mean, bro? I want free merch.
Well, it's not necessarily free. I do